what's going on in the U.S. and European bond fund markets? ICI is offering new analysis on this issue thanks to a monthly undertaking it's begun looking at European and U.S. long-term fund flows together. ICI senior economist Chris Plantier.
Well, given recent policy actions in Europe and the U.S., we thought it would be a good idea to look at not just bond flows in the U.S., but also look at European bond fund flows. And what we saw in the first 6 months of 2015 was generally positive inflows. So for the U.S. Bond funds, we saw inflows of 75 billion, and in Europe, we saw inflows of 100 billion for European bond funds.
But you do see things start to change in the second half of the year in terms of the data.
In the second half, we do see the Fed's impending interest rate decision starting to weigh on bond fund investors. In the U.S., bond mutual funds saw 52 billion in outflows in the second half from July to November. But bond ETFs actually, U.S. bond ETFs actually saw inflows of 32 billion over that time. In Europe, we saw mild outflows of about $10 billion from July to November. And then there's some interesting trends actually in some subcategories that we can talk about.
Chris, let's also talk about two fund categories that are really interesting to our members, and that's high yield and emerging market bond funds. What's the data look like in those categories?
So we took a look at high yield bond funds in the US and Europe, and in general we're not seeing large cumulative outflows for the first 11 months of 2015. However, for EM bond funds, we did see outflows sort of from July to November of over $25 billion.
So you'll be tracking this for our members and continue to give us some updates over the coming months.
Well, I think it sets up an interesting situation. We do have these divergent monetary policy trends going on, and we will be tracking U.S. and European bond fund trends just to see how different products are doing.